Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. I'm finally going to be trying out the part 2 worldwide Dokkan Fest in LR Broly against some difficult content in Dokkan. Absolutely loved using this unit when he first dropped, what, just over a week ago now? So we are a little bit late with this video. But even so, I'm very much looking forward to trying him, as I said, against some difficult content. Which is, first off, going to be against Supreme Magnificent Battle Beast. And I haven't used Broly in a hot minute. And as I said, I haven't used him in any difficult content, so I'm very much looking forward to this. Annoyingly, mine is on rotation number 2. But it is what it is. Now, I could have brought the Easy 8 Int Broly with me, but I decided, because I already know what I want my rotations to be, he's probably just going to end up floating. Because I don't really want to float the Easy 8 Tech LR. I mean, I could have floated the 9th anniversary unit, but I decided to go for the dual support with Team Turles and Kid Buu instead. Which I'm good with. I mean, at the moment, you can literally run a full Broly team. And I mean, depending on who you're facing, mainly with Easy 8 Int Broly, but depending on who you're facing, that team is just kind of, it just goes on a rampage. There's so much damage. There's domains, revivals, support, decent defense. I mean, even the new Bio Broly is really good. But if you wonder why I didn't use the friend Broly's domain, it's not because I'm waiting to use mine. It's because this first phase against Beast isn't too difficult. So everyone here should be able to tank him just fine. I mean, Kid Buu did take 150. I think that was on the first attack he did, and I think he only attacked once. But we don't really need to use it immediately. So I'm not going to wait too long to pop one of the domains. But we don't need to use it as soon as. Obviously, one of the best things about Broly's domain is the fact that you can use it literally on turn 1 as long as you have a full rotation of uncontrollable power category units, which that's one bit of slander I've heard about Broly, which I get it, but also at the same time I don't see it being an issue. Because the uncontrollable power category team, or at least the 200%, is so good that when I'm going to be using Int LR Broly, 99% of the time, apart from maybe if I wait to try him somewhere else, 99% of the time I'm going to be using him on this category. So while I kind of get where people are coming from, I don't see it to be an issue. And anyway, the only parts that are really specific to uncontrollable power category units where he needs to be around or on that category is after his revival, so he can support uncontrollable power category units, which even then you don't have to be on a full team of. Just all the other units who are on that category will get the support. The other part is his domain, where you essentially need a full rotation for it to activate, which means you don't need to be on an uncontrollable power category team. So you can actually use Broly elsewhere. But funny enough, the places you're going to use him, which are Planetary Destruction or Movie Bosses, a lot of the units that go on those teams, because they're all primarily Brolys, go on uncontrollable power. So he's not actually restricted to the one category. But regardless, because the team is just that good with so much damage output, good defense, damage reduction, guard, revival, support for days, funny enough, you're going to run him on this team anyway majority of the time. So as I said, I get where people are coming from. He's not really restricted. But this is his best place, so you're going to run him here anyway. So I don't really see the issue with it. Like, I get it, but I don't see it as an issue. Like, I want to run him here because it's the best setup for him. I mean, I'm missing LR Cell Max, but that's another unit you could put on his team. This is his best place to be and the best place for those units to be with him. So by all means, I don't mind. I don't mind. I really don't think it's an issue whatsoever. So I don't know why that's an argument used against Broly of that being too restrictive, because I don't think it is. Let's get one of the domains active, so that way everyone else, including Int LR Broly, can get some support. But, and then also we do more damage, and actually even more damage, because Beast is a movie hero's enemy unit. But more importantly, now both Interlar Brolys do have guard on top of their 60% damage reduction. So, and that's what I love about these two, or being on rotation together. You can literally choose, depending on the scenario, depending on if a domain's active, depending on type advantage, disadvantage, you can kind of pick who goes in slot 1. Now, he needs to go in slot 1 because that's where he gets his guard from, so I'm going to let him stay there. With the domain being active, Interlar Broly can slide in slot 2 and he still has his damage reduction, and he also, of course, has his guard. I think the second rotation I'm going to go for is Easy A Tech LR Broly. I mean, he's just too good. He just does way too much damage. And that's another thing, which again, I get it, but at the same time, like, it's not an issue, or it's definitely not as big as an issue as people make out, is LR Broly doesn't hit hard enough. Now, did he get the same treatment as the other two superclass unit counterparts of being able to do everything he does while doing 20, 30 million plus attack stats and super attacking 2-3 times? No. While Dokkan has got better in how they treat extreme class units, they still get a little bit shagged here and there, or they just essentially just don't get the same type of love as superclass units there. However, and I've seen some people say the same thing, which I'm completely on board with, which is, sure, does he get out damaged by a lot of units on the team? Sure, I think every unit on this team, aside from Kid Buu, out damages him, if not hits the same amount. But that's fine with me, because Broly ties all of these units together on one category. Also LR Cellmax if you have him. Also Easy 8 Int LR Broly, which is one of the few units he actually does out damage until he's stacked a lot. And then also the active skill turn if you want to include that as well. But Broly offers so much to this team that I don't mind. And even then, just because he does get out damaged by everyone, I mean, we're doing 20 mil here. And yeah, you might be like, well, you got Kid Buu support and you have a domain active. Of course he's going to do 20 mil. But let's not forget, this team is full of it. This team is full of support. We're actually missing some support. There are so many support units that can go on this team. With Team Turles, with Kid Buu, with also in LR Broly's Revival. If we had that active as well, uncontrollable power units would also be getting 60% attack and defense. So that would actually get higher. It's just natural to build the team this way, so it's not like we're forcing the support. But doing without the support and the domain active, but being active at once, you're looking at what, like 12 to 14 mil, I think, at 55% on my one, which I'm going to go off of because it's my one. I don't have him with dupes or rainbow. But he offers too much for that to really matter, in my opinion. We're definitely going to pop that. He offers too much, and even so, without the support and domain rotation being active at once, which that is a potential, that's going to happen a lot of the time. 20 mil is still a good attack stat to put out. Like a very good one. It's weird to have a Broly unit that doesn't have a built-in additional, sure. But still, doing 20 mil on that one turn is still good, especially with the amount of other stuff he offers to this team. Even without that support domain rotation, Broly's doing 12 to 14 mil at 55%. Again, I'm only going to go off mine. That's still, while him being out damaged by other units, which is true, while he still gets out damaged by other units, that's still a solid amount of damage to put out. Again, it could potentially be more with, as I said, a domain or a support rotation, or both as we saw there, which that's good damage for him to put out. Then think about everything else he does for the team. 60% damage reduction. Very good. A domain that is ready to use potentially on an uncontrollable power category team on turn 1. Having that ready to go on turn 1 is very nice. By the time you're done through using both Interlar Broly's domain, you then have 9th anniversary Broly's domain ready to go, which means you constantly have domain support going while having support unit support flowing through the team every other turn as well. But then the main point being, he doesn't clash with another unit's domain on the team, which is so nice. As I said, amazing defensively because he has 60% damage reduction. As long as the domain is active, friend or yours, which again, you will have both of them active throughout a run, while also eventually then having 9th anniversary Broly's domain ready. And because I waited, they're actually going to clash a little bit. Oh no, we're definitely not doing that. This is why I bought Sensus, so I could avoid the lock-in. I'm purposely going to put mine in slot 1 with the domain. But they don't clash majority of the time unless you kind of wait to use them like I did. But that means you have guard for about, what, 6 turns, or can be 6 turns consecutively as long as you pop the second domain afterwards. Which a lot of the time, with the amount of damage you do in this team, is most of the fight. Especially with the domain being active where they're doing more damage to superclass enemies, which is more frequent now with the more difficult content we're getting around superclass enemies, which is only going to increase in the game. In LR Broly also has a domain in general, which is nice. He also has a revival, which is handy. Yeah, you can only use one of them, but he has one. And then once his revival comes off, he then supports with 60% attack and defense to uncontrollable power category units. So, solid damage. Again, he gets out damaged by a lot of units on the team, but I mean, when you look at the type of damage they are doing, you got stackers, you got Easy A Tech LR Broly doing 30, 40, 50 mil like it's nothing consistently, which is dumb. 9th anniversary Broly super attacking 4 or 5 times. So yeah, he gets out damaged, but he still does solid damage, defensively amazing, domain, support, revival, guard, damage reduction. So sure, he gets out damaged, but to me, does solid damage output while supplying so much to a stacked category. Look at that, double digits. We actually get to super attack. So if Beast does super attack us here, we actually do have an extra 100% attack and defense. Do it. I want to see how much he takes. Do it. He's not doing it. That's such a shame. Look, 57. It's dumb. 57 mil. This man does this when transformed consistently. Actually, no, tell a lie. We use his active skill. But he does a little bit less than that consistently. I don't know why I struggled there. That's how good he is. I'm struggling. I'm speechless. So the fact he doesn't do this type of damage, I don't mind, because he just offers so much to a team that already has good damage, might I add. Like, there's so many good damage dealers on this team. Like, the minimum amount of damage you can have on this team is literally int Easy A Broly on his first turn of stacking. That's literally the minimum amount of damage he will do. But generally, that's probably one of the easiest runs I've ever done. Honestly, love this Broly unit. One of the best units in the game to me. Absolutely love the uncontrollable power category team. It's so, so good. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. And post.